This is an Evergreen Media Network studio production.
Honestly, without Treasure Coast Community Health, I think we'd be a much poorer community in terms of our health. We're always striving to fill the gap for everyone in the community, rich or poor.
Good afternoon and welcome to Community Conversations. My name is Vicki Soule and I am the host as well as the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health. Our agency, I guess is the proper term, provides primary care, medical, dental, behavioral health, as many services as we can pack into one location for your convenience so that you have the advantage of a one-stop shop. It also allows you to stop this endless repeating of your history and your medications because we share as appropriate across all of our service lines so that we can take care of you from head to tail. So if you are looking for a new primary care provider, particularly in the medical areas, just give us a call at 772-257-8224. But each week, because we are not unique in this area, we are part of a vast network of nonprofits in Indian River County that care for all of you because we are pretty much a small town grown up. And so we do a lot of collaboration. We bring a lot of individuals to this radio show so that you can hear the latest of what's going on in our community. Particularly at this time of year, we're very busy because this is the ideal Florida weather. February in Florida can't be beat. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's not too humid. It's not too rainy. It's just right for us to have lots of events and things going on. So it's my pleasure today to bring Dawn Redstone in. Dawn is with the Senior Collaborative, and you've got something coming up very soon as well, do you not?
We do. We are the host of the Senior Expo each year. It is March 21st of 24, and from 9 to 2 at the Indian River County Fairgrounds.
Ah, right in the middle of the county.
It is.
Is there a fee attached to that?
There is no fee for attendees at all.
I'd like to put
whatsoever.
that right out front. It's free.
It is free. We will have, right now we have about 87 vendors.
Wow.
Which you didn't know, but there you go.
That's a
it's
lot
growing
of people.
pretty good. Last year, we just had the inside of the Senior Expo Center to provide for vendors, and we actually were packed. And one of the things that our vendors asked is right off the bat afterwards to reserve for this year. So they did, and we also got several others coming towards us, and we are now also offering vendor space underneath the 2,200 square foot outdoor pavilion.
And you had food trucks there last year, right?
We did. We had 2 food trucks. This year we have 4. And we also have quite a few different health screenings going on. Treasure Coast Community Health will be one of them. They are having their brand new bus that's going to be out, but underneath the pavilion as well, along with the senior, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia bus, and quite a few others. So we are really excited about this and working diligently to pull this off.
So because it's a senior health fair,
yes,
and lots of other things besides health.
Yes.
Sorry, that just automatically slipped out.
Yes, there's a lot of other things as well.
Yes. So is it better to come first thing in the morning? Around lunchtime? Does it matter?
It doesn't matter. From 9 to 2, you will have access to all the vendors. We have everything from healthcare providers to assisted living communities, skilled nursing facilities, placement agencies, elder care attorneys, insurance providers. Let me think about this for a second.
Anything and everything.
Agency on Aging, Senior Resource Association, just lots of different agencies, everything to do with seniors, providers in this community that do things for seniors or have services for them. So,
transportation companies?
Transportation, Senior Resource Association, their community coach will be there as well. And we will have A to Z, literally. So you will see lots of information from them. And also we're having some educational presentations by some of our vendors as well. So
will that be listed on your website?
It will. Everything's on the website at this point. We keep it updated, but we also will have an insert into the 32963 and to Vero News as we get closer to the event with the map of the with the map of the inside and outside of the vendors, as well as several articles and so forth telling you about what to expect and who's going to be there and what educational presentations will be there. It's a pretty exciting day.
Absolutely. Now, you haven't been doing it for years and years and years.
No, the AAUW, which is the University Women's Group, started it some years back. They had to pause it a little bit during COVID, and then they restarted it. So 2 years ago, we went into agreement with them. They knew that they wanted to pass it over to us, and so we did it in conjunction with them at the IG Center, excuse me. But last year was our first year to be the premier sponsor and host of it, and Cleveland Clinic Indian River Hospital is our premium sponsor, our premier sponsor for the organization.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for them. They did a great job. And then we have quite a number of other sponsors as well, platinum and gold and so forth. And we have a lot of community people that are involved. Treasure Coast happens to be one of them. Senior Resource happens to be another. Renaissance. And there are too many to mention, and I don't want to leave anybody out.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. But it's good to know that it'll be printed as well, so that if you're not internet savvy or if you're having internet connection issues, there will be a printed copy, and you can have that and bring it with you, or will there be some at the door as well?
There will. All the participants, as long as they last, we will have like a bag that will have all different kinds of information in there from some other providers, as well as the map and information on each of the booths and where you can find them and so forth. So it'll be all there for you. We also are working with Treasure Coast Publishing. They do these medical services guide and the senior services guide. They'll be providing those for us as well, that we will hand out at no cost, obviously.
Okay. So if you were a senior, a young and healthy senior, and there are many of us, that wanted to do some volunteer work, would there be resources there to help them with that?
Absolutely. And we could use some volunteers for the expo itself. It's a lot of work, but it's a great deal of fun during that day. So if you're a young and active senior and want to come hang out with us, please give us a call. We'd love to have your help because it takes.
And who should they call? Yourself?
Please call the Senior Collaborative. Either speak with myself or Serena, who is our member coordinator. The phone number there is 772-469-2270.
And so that would be to volunteer before the day of or on the day of?
Correct.
Okay.
The day before we need help, as well as the day of.
A lot of setup, a lot of stuffing bags.
A lot of moving parts. A lot of moving parts.
And the Senior Collaborative really is a collaborative of different agencies.
It is.
But not everybody can send a volunteer to help with that setup because they've got their own businesses like Treasure Coast.
We work with a lot of different agencies and different people, and everybody has their own responsibilities. And so we need all the help we can get. We do collaborate with so many of the not-for-profits locally, as well as the for-profit vendors out there as well. But we need your help, and we'd love to have your attendance as well.
Okay. Another question that I've heard as I talk about this to others, and that is, how stable is it for someone who's got a walker or a wheelchair?
It's first floor. It is ADA access and so forth. So we have the ability to
get you in and out.
Get you in and out. There are facilities there for all that are accessible to all. The walkways and so forth are wide and allow for walkers and wheelchairs and folks that may be using canes or may need a little assistance. And volunteers, we hope, will be there possibly to help guide you if you need to have.
Yeah, it's a pretty big space. You talked about
huge
2,200 square feet on the outside. Inside is as big or larger?
As big or large. I think it's larger, actually.
So you'll have chairs for people to
There'll be
could
chairs.
rest?
There'll be chairs set in different areas if they need to sit down. There will not be a lot of chairs, but there will be some areas that you can have some rest areas for.
And you can always go to the back and listen to a speaker.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have some great speakers. And last year, Vicki, you were one of our speakers. You talked about primary care physicians and finding one. Yep. We had a speaker that talked about VA services, and that individual will be doing it again this year.
Wonderful.
And then we had a physician from Cleveland Clinic that talked about dermatology. I'm not sure what the topic is this year. We'll know that as I get a little bit closer.
Okay.
So it's a wide variety of educational
and the date
opportunities.
Again is?
It is on March 21st.
Okay. Midweek.
I think it's on Thursday.
Okay.
If my brain is working correctly, it's on Thursday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. We're going to take a short break for a word from our sponsors, and then when we come back, we'll talk about some of the other wonderful things that the Senior Collaborative does or is involved in, okay? Stay tuned. Treasure Coast Community Health in-house pharmacies have the lowest prices in Indian River County, even lower than big box pharmacies. Taking your medication as prescribed leads to better health. Affordable medicine makes it easier. Treasure Coast Community Health patients can pick up medicine as they leave the office or use free delivery and mail order services. Pharmacists are always available to answer questions. Switch to TCCH pharmacies. Save money, stay healthy. 772-257-8224 and ask about our price match.
At Sunshine Furniture, our 35,000 square foot showroom is filled with the largest selection of in-stock coastal furniture on the Treasure Coast. Dining and bedroom sets, occasional tables, sofas, sleeper sofas, love seats and chairs, and all the latest styles and colors from Tommy Bahama, Lexington, Hooker, Riverside, Universal, Four Seasons, Braxton Color, and Capri. We're the outdoor furniture experts and have hundreds of styles of any patio furniture you need, including a gallery of Berlin Gardens and Pollywood. We're having a big February clearance sale, which includes all Tommy Bahama and Lexington in stock or special order, 50% off. Sunshine Furniture, 1295 US 1 in Vero Beach, next to Planet Fitness. Family owned and operated since 1991. Visit our website at sunshinefurniturecasual.com, and don't forget to visit our outlet and sales store directly across the street.
Sunshine Furniture, the best in every way. Sunshine Day.
It's time to call Easy Brew Coffee and Bottled Water Service and learn just how much you can save and how convenient it is to have your coffee and bottled water delivered right to your home or office. In addition to water coolers, Easy Brew offers individual bottles of water in 8 or 16-ounce bottles. No more lugging it home or dragging it into the office. Serving the Treasure Coast for over 2 decades, 2 letters, 1 simple name. Easy for Easy Brew. Visit e-zbrew.com or call 800-792-3285. Easy Brew.
And welcome back to Community Conversations. If you're just joining, my name is Vicki Soule. I'm the CEO of Treasure Coast Community Health, which means that I am delighted to be able to interact with many, many people and tell them about the role of primary care in their lives. So if you haven't been to see your doctor, your dentist, behavioral health therapist in a while, and you're feeling a little bit like you should and need the nudge, consider this the nudge. Okay, you really need to take good care of your health so that you can help others. Today I've got with me Dawn Redstone, who is with the Senior Collaborative, and we've just been talking about the latest event coming up in March, and that is
the Senior Expo.
That's right, on March 21st, Thursday afternoon.
9 to 2.
9 to 2 at the
Indian River County Fairgrounds.
You'd think we'd practice this.
You think we did.
But we didn't.
No, we didn't.
It is free. It is in its third year under this semi-umbrella of the Senior Collaborative. But the Senior Collaborative actually does a whole lot more. This is just, I don't want to call it mission creep. It's just an evolution of things that seem perfectly logical. Now, for many of you that are moving from up north, or somewhere else, oftentimes a community will have a senior center. We, at some point in the Vero Beach, Indian River County folks, have had senior centers. Currently, though, that's not the model that we're following. And so from that bit of absence, I guess, the Senior Collaborative evolved. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So what our founding members, it was made up of Randy Riley, who was the founding executive director, and a number of other agency professionals, Senior Resource Association and the United Way and a few others, came together because there was a lot of things that were missing. It was difficult for seniors and their families to find services. They didn't know how to find them. They didn't know where to go to find them. They didn't know who to ask. So it came together, a group of people came together to develop the Senior Collaborative. We truly are a collaborative. We work with all the agencies, very hand in hand.
You have a number of board members.
Yes, we do. Actually, our chairman of the board is sitting across from me now. Her name is Vicki Soleil.
That wasn't supposed to come in this conversation.
Oh, I know. And then we have board members, Representative Karen Deagle with the Senior Resource Association, Meredith Egan with United Way. We have ministers, attorneys, and accountants, and community members and community advocates that are members of the board, law enforcement. It's a pretty diverse board, and there are all about trying to help Indian River County seniors find the services they need and have access to things they need and make life in this community much better for them and for all of us.
I've been on the board for a couple of years, and one of the first things that struck me was you're going to do an internet database. I mean, it makes perfect sense on the one hand, because as soon as you publish something, put it in writing, 2 or 3 days later, there's a change and you start Xing things out or scribbling in the margins, and that helps you, but it doesn't help other people that get that booklet. And so I thought that was really a great idea, but I was concerned about the number of seniors that might actually use it. Can you talk to us about that?
So we have a couple of different ways that we can access the database. A senior could go onto our website, or their loved ones, their family, their caregivers, their neighbors, their grandchildren, their great-grandchildren. And you go on the website, and through using keywords, they can, if they're looking, for instance, for nursing care or in-home care, they can put a few keywords into the search, and it will pull up all the different agencies and registries that might be providing that service in this community, and information about them, how to reach them, what their services consist of, and so forth. We also receive phone calls on a daily basis from people that hear either our radio advertisements or are referred by other agencies or have seen rat cards or some of our flyers to say, I'm looking for. And literally those calls are from all over the country, because I'll have a daughter calling from Michigan because mom lives in Vero Beach.
And mom says she's fine.
She's fine, and everybody's definition of fine is quite different.
Yes.
It's not unusual for families they didn't travel during COVID. A lot of us stayed put. Well, mom stayed here, dad stayed here, and, when they'd call, how you doing? We're fine, doing fine. And then when they're now traveling a little bit more and they come down, they find out that fine has a different definition for their mom or their dad. Maybe
they could use a little more help.
Maybe they could use a little bit more help. Maybe they see some concerns that need to be addressed. And so maybe having somebody come in a couple days a week would help them. Or maybe it's time for them to make other arrangements. Or maybe they haven't seen a doctor in a few years. Or because, we stayed home. So
Everything from soup to nuts is on
to
that
nuts.
database.
literally, we get calls asking for somebody to help find a house cleaner, to somebody to change their light bulbs, to I need 24/7 care for my mother. I'm in Alaska. She's in Sebastian. Who do I call?
Right.
And we give them a wide variety of opportunities of what services are available here, and try to connect them.
How many do you have on your database?
Off the top of my head, and truly it is at this point, it's well over 700. I think
So
it's actually a lot more than that at this point.
Pretty great resource.
Yes.
Okay. And so that's really the beginnings of folks coming together under the Senior Collaborative. And then what came next?
So this collaborative started. We have the database. We've have that happening. The Senior Expo was added in the last couple of years. Then we have also added a new program called Upslide. And Upslide it's actually an acronym. And I'm going to have to read the acronym because
It's a lot of words.
It's a lot of words. It's utilizing and promoting social engagement for loneliness, isolation, and depression in elderly. This program was started in Tallahassee at the Tallahassee Senior Center. They have a huge senior center in Tallahassee. They pulled together, they identified seniors in their community that were lonely. They maybe had outlived their spouse or their neighbors or things like that, and they began to isolate.
And then COVID happened.
And we isolated them even more. Some of them don't have human contact, except maybe once a week.
And you know that how?
So we're hearing about this from different agencies as well. So we get referrals from home health agencies, from physicians' offices, from Meals on Wheels, from Community Coach, from neighbors and friends, from, I got a call yesterday from somebody whose neighbor she sees maybe once a week when she comes out to check her mail, and she's becoming more and more feeble. And so she's very concerned about her. And she says, I think she's got kids, but I don't think they live here, and I've never seen anybody visit. So she's trying to find out what services are available. So we're referring her to Upslide. It basically brings these folks together in a Friends Connection group so that they can maybe meet new people, have friends, be able to talk about things that they have in common. Maybe it's harder to make a friend when you're older than it is when you're a child.
10 times harder because
if not more.
Yeah. And even as young adults, often we'll have more activity going on that we want to share with other people. So we talk about it. We dedicate our small talk to that. Or if we have children, now immediately you've got a common situation, even if your kids are very different. So that's wonderful that you're bringing them together. How often and where?
We're doing it once a week. The first, the pilot one is at the Wabasso Health Department. If you have someone that you love that you would be interested in finding out more about Upslide, please call the Senior Collaborative. We'll do what we can to get them involved. We're getting ready to start a second one at the Up Center, United Against Poverty Center in Vero Beach. And then we're looking for other areas of the community.
North County.
In North County and further in South County as well.
Okay. What if they have transportation problems?
So we're working with Community Coach, with Senior Resource Association, to get them signed up to be able to get transportation. At the Wabasso site, they also have a congregate meal. So again, if they qualify for a congregate meal or Meals on Wheels, we're working with Senior Resource Association, who maintains that one, to make that happen for them as well.
So you'll help facilitate and explain and get all of that squared away?
Yes, we will.
Okay. So it's my understanding that because folks are a little concerned about the size of the group, it will be limited, which is why you're having them call in, correct?
We are.
Okay,
We are.
So you've heard it here. There's a new program in town dedicated especially to seniors. That's 55, 60. Which senior cutoff
60
is it?
plus.
60 plus. Okay, so if you know of someone, please give a call at
772 888-469-2270.
Thank you so much, Dawn, for being with us today.
Thank you for inviting us.
Spread the word, folks, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.